All right, what's up, everybody? So we are doing things different. We're recording in a morning right now, or in the morning, whatever.
In the morning.
That came out not right. So catch me with my coffee that I'm probably not going to take a sip of this whole time. But anyways, you didn't need to know that. But holiday season, it has arrived. My cousin Karen, Karen, her house is always done up for her holidays, and it changed to Christmas on October 30th. So
I've seen a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, I feel like people are starting to decorate for Christmas earlier every single year. And I'm like, oh.
I went Christmas mode right after Halloween. I didn't really decorate a whole lot for Halloween because I wanted where I'm living now and everything. Like, it's my first year of actually taking the time to decorate my own way and everything. And so I was like, you know what? I want to put all my money into the things that I want for Halloween. And we still have Thanksgiving.
I know.
And usually that's whenever my family puts up their Christmas stuff is after Thanksgiving. The family, we gather and help our grandparents put stuff up and everything. So yeah, there was a lot of people that I knew that was like, oh, bye Halloween. Hello Christmas.
Yeah. I feel like it used to be you decorate for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving or that weekend. And now it's
or Black Friday, before. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so holidays are here. So we had the idea this morning to talk some about we talk a lot about boundaries and stuff on the show. And so we are coming up on that time that you are, quote unquote, expected to hang out with family and stuff. And the reality is, maybe sometimes you're, for reasons of having to have those boundaries up, you can't participate necessarily, or you just have to be more cautious.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd talk some about that.
I think the reason why, even whenever I was younger, I didn't necessarily have a boundary up, but I just always felt left out in my family.
Mm-hmm.
In my family, now they don't even understand why. They're like, we're here for you and we support you. But in a setting, I'm not family oriented. And also my parents split up whenever I was little, and then they had addiction and everything that was going on. And then on top of that, being an only child, it's been very lonely during all the years. And looking back, even whenever I was getting presents and everything, there were still things that I was missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely hard to, look at the good during this time of year. Not even Christmas, Thanksgiving. My mental illness goes down a slope because it's dark. In my eyes, this is how I vision it.
Oh yeah, time changes Sunday.
Yeah, it's darker, cold, family oriented with holidays and everything. Jolly, woo fucking who, all this. And I just go down a hill. And this year I did it a little bit differently because I actually got that mental health help that I needed. I wanted to nip it in the butt before it came crashing down and it hit. So this will be the first year that I actually have set boundaries and things to implement to my family, because I have done a whole bunch of growth within myself, and I don't really care to be home on Christmas and on Thanksgiving. It's just I feel I'm faking it, during why on that day does my family tell me that they love me, and not saying that I never get that, but still regularly. I mean, for you, you probably talk to your parents on the reg.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time that I see my fucking family. How sad is that? And not even, I'm talking about cousins and aunts and uncles and even my grandparents, but still, So it just puts it in a spot where I'm just fuck. I don't take it too personal now that I'm older.
Are you going to go home this year?
I called my godparents and they're like, we don't do anything on Thanksgiving Day. They usually do it the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then I was like, well, I'm coming up this weekend. And the weekends don't match up of when. So like for Thanksgiving, like, I mean, that's not necessarily a big deal. I have work off, and like if I have work off, I have a day off. Like there's much more that I can do. I know it sounds like very morbid and sad. But also like friends here, like even you included, like you guys have invited me to do things like with your family, which is nice. But sometimes I don't even like mind spending those moments, like those holidays with myself. Morbid, but it's just how I like it, because there's just so much that I can tolerate, with the relationship that I do have with my family. So yeah.
I was going to say, I'm sure you can come to my parents' house if you would like.
Yeah, no.
For everyone at home, my mom loves Christian. I will never forget. My mom met Christian when she and my dad helped come do something at the house. I don't know. We had just moved in. Dad was like helping something with the dryer or whatever. And we have to note, just for the funny in it, this is when Christian had really short hair, all this stuff. And, my mom, not as cool with the gays then as I think she's come around to. But like, she loved Christian. She told me, she was like, I'll just pack her up, take her home with me.
Yeah. So. Well, that's, what's crazy about that is not even saying that, like, this isn't a bad way that I'm saying this, but like I don't want people to think that, oh my gosh, she's so fucking conceited. No, I'm not even, just people say shit. But anyways, the thing is like, I meet parents and like, I'm just me. Like I was just myself around your mom. Like, like I don't fake anything around parents. And like, ironically, like, because my best friend back at home as well, like her mom loves me. Like I consider her like growing up, like she was a mom because my dad was a single dad. Like she just stepped up to the plate sometime. But like, even with me being gay and everything, like she reminds me, she's like, I don't hate you. I absolutely adore you. I love you. Like all this other stuff. I just hate the sin. But it's like for every...
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I know. But for every parent that I have met, regardless if it's friend-wise or like ex relationships, whatever, like I think in a way they get even not more angry. I'm not saying that they get more angry or anything, but it's hard for them to not like me because of how I present myself, like how I just act myself. I'm just this bubbly little, like even exes whose parents were extremely homophobic and were like, pray the gay away, all this other thing. Like whenever they met me, they were like, I just could feel it. They were like, damn it. I really wish I could hate her.
No, it's true.
And it's just, but the even more ironic thing is parents who meet me throughout my life with friends and everything, they without a doubt, without even thinking, open their home to me. Mm-hmm. They remind me of how much I mean to them. The simple little things, literally the simple gestures of just being invited to holidays. Mm-hmm. And my own parent, my dad now, but not being able to do those little things throughout my life. So that's why I cherish those moments whenever I meet parents and they are like that, because I'm like, damn, like just little reminders that like I am capable to be loved. I'm not a shitty ass child, I didn't fuck up my parents' life. They in a way made those choices. Mm-hmm. And so, but
this actually lets me spin into a direction I didn't plan on, but I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, to spin on that is like, you can make your own family. You don't have to be built into if something's toxic, just because you're related doesn't mean that you have to do everything point blank without, thinking twice. But like you can create that with friends or, I guess in this case, their parents or like whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where like, I never agreed to, that's your blood. That's your blood. Like, that's your father. You can't talk to him. Like you can't treat him like that. Like, of course, this is religious folk talking, but
yeah, the respect your elders stuff.
Respect your elder type thing. And I'm like, all because there's an age difference, especially now because I am considered an adult. If I'm not being respected, then like I don't care if you're blood or not. I'm going to remove myself from that because you're not going to bring me down. And that's where me and my dad were at for a very, very long time. It's just like, this is the healthy boundary that I had to set with him. Like previously, he was just talking so negative about everything. He just bitched and bitched and bitched. And I finally, whenever the last time I was in Illinois, it was like a couple of times that I went there, he got in my car and he was just bitching. And I literally like stopped, like mid-road, like we're on a back road, but I stopped, I put on my brakes and I put it in park. I didn't care, like I put my hazards on, but I looked at him and I was like, why are you so fucking negative all the time? And why do you bring that energy into my space, like instantly whenever you get in my car? Why are you already bitching? What do you want me to do? What are you doing for yourself? And we got to talking and just all of that. And I was like, I need you to understand, like you think that I'm being terrible to you whenever I remove myself from these situations. Like I would be like, get the fuck out of my car if you're going to if you're going to be like that to me, even like say these things to me. And it finally got to the point where like me putting my foot down to him made him have to realize in that moment, like, okay, you know what? I am affecting her in a way. But the problem is, one of the main problems that I had with both of my parents is I've always felt like I was the parent.
Oh, yeah.
I always felt like I was taking care of them. I always felt, or it was like a friendship. And there was never that structure. And if you don't have that structure, then that's where things get lost. And then from there, it can grow even more negatively. And that's why, especially during a holiday season, boundaries are meant to be set. And then from there, now there's boundaries all year. Like, not just holidays, but I have to have those boundaries because regardless, blood or not, I'm not going to be respectfully, I'm not going to be disrespected. I don't care if you aren't, on a religious standpoint, you are not God himself, There's another thing that I need to tell you after this, and I'm trying to remember it at the end of this because you're going to get a kick out of it.
Okay. I'll try to make note of there being something.
For sure.
I don't know. I think me with my family's always been pretty good consistently, but after I came out, it was a little rough for a little while, and so there was a period of time where I did have to remove myself in the sense of I didn't go see my mom as much. And I was at least lucky in that case where it's like she noted the absence and kind of came to terms and was like, okay. And I've really had to do it more so during election periods because the politics stuff comes up.
Yeah.
But like, at least with her, I was lucky enough that she noted that I wasn't coming around and eventually was just like, got off a high horse and accepted that, okay, I can either continue this and repeatedly do damage to this relationship, or I can get it together to make sure I don't. And so she kind of slowly came around in her own right. So,
and that's the thing. In the moment, they think, I'm not just speaking like in your mom. This is just my opinion looking in.
Yeah.
But they think you're the one like we're the ones doing the damage, and they don't really realize or grasp that they're the one, and the way that they react and the way that they respond is what is really affecting it. And so because of that, I think it's a powerful thing. I think for anyone who can remove themselves from a situation, no matter who the fuck it is, that's not serving them, that's bringing them down. If they constantly make you feel like what the fuck, or upset you, or get you even questioning like your worth, then absolutely no. Don't continue putting yourself through that, because not only are they unhappy, there's something sparking that to make them unhappy. And you're your own human being, and you do not have to answer to anyone. At the end of the day, you don't have to explain yourself. And at that point, like during these holiday times and everything, it's just like the biggest thing with my mama and with my mom's side of the family. And, you know, I don't know necessarily how hard this is going to hit whenever this comes. I'm trying to prepare myself now, because this will be the first Christmas without my mom.
Oh, yeah.
But during Christmas time at my mama's, so I'm just going to structure this out for you, okay? So I have an aunt and an uncle, and then they all have kids. They have like 4 kids each. And then their kids now, because they're all older than me, have kids. Like they have babies. And so looking into that family structure, so I have my aunt and my uncle who are in relationships, and their children grew up with a mom and dad figure. And then my cousin's children grew up with a mom and dad figure. And then my aunt and uncle have my mama and my papa, who grew up with a mom and dad figure. Luckily, of course, even with my parents splitting whenever I was younger, they've always been open arms to my dad. There's also been times that he hasn't been there. There's been years, there was few years with my mom struggling in addiction and everything. She hadn't been coming. So then I go here, and I'm in a circle with a group of people that don't really fucking know anything about me.
Yeah.
They say, yes, I love you unconditionally and I accept you for who you are. But also on top of that, they all have kids. They're all married. Mama's perfect image of a man and a female. And I'm the one with broken parents, now a mom who passed away, an only child, gay, not married, no kids coming anytime soon. And if they could grasp that, if they could see my perspective of it, they don't fucking take the time to. They don't know how much it fucking hurts. But also, I'm not going to put my worth out there to even try to explain that. Because really, realistically, even at a young age, I was damaged with this. Looking in, how could you not know that child in the corner with literally nothing, like, oh, she got presents, she got all this, like that it was the simple of like what was missing. And you can always tell around my mother's family that I feel so out of place. But I don't feel the need to explain that either, because especially now, it can't be fixed. It's already, I go there for my mama because she was a big part during like when my parents were going through stuff. She was a big part of raising me. But whenever you look deeper into it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But again, like, I would just rather not put myself through that. Because it honestly is fucking sad. But it's my life, and it's something that I've accepted. Rather than dwelling on it or wondering why me, I've accepted it. And I'm okay with that. And it's made me strong. So that's all. You have to, again, look at the positive from the negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learning more about you every day.
I know, dude. Learning a lot about Christian Lingle, man.
You mean Christian Kringle?
Christian Kringle, yeah.
My phone, okay, I've said this on the podcast before, but in case now, you didn't listen to that episode, there was... When I met Christian, I really thought her last name was Kringle for some reason. I don't know why. It's been so long ago. And so I put her in my phone as Christian Kringle. I don't put last names unless I need to. And usually I just put, that's the funny thing. I usually just put like, I would put like Christian K, but I have a cousin named Christian. So I was like, oh, Christian. And for some reason I put your whole last name. And then there I was thinking it was Christian Kringle this whole time. And then didn't we live together? I don't know. We didn't live. I figured it out before then. But Christian, like, I think you saw your name in my phone or something.
Yeah. I think we were at
or I noted someone saying Christian Lingle. And I was like.
It's funny because someone, I don't know if I told you this story, but I think I was at a bar or something and they asked me my name and I said Christian Lingle and they were like, Kringle? And I brought you up because I was like, one of my best friends actually thought Kringle was my last name. But the funny thing is too, now that my name on Instagram, it's Christian Kennedy. People actually think my last name is Kennedy.
Oh.
I ordered from this girl's shop on Instagram and luckily I caught it, but she put my mailing address as Christian Kennedy and then my address. And I was like, damn it, I should have told her that. But no, yeah. The Kringle will always live on for sure.
It's still on my phone as Kringle. And you know, now Apple's got that thing where like you can
update it
with your picture and stuff, and it'll so like it tells me that you have updated contact info, and it's like a picture, and then it says, you know, your correct name, and I'm like, no,
yeah.
So I refuse. So it's still Christian Kringle, and the picture is you and me at Clyde's when we played ping pong that one time.
Oh yeah, short hair still,
and I had that Tinder date here.
Yeah, Gosh, I don't like that time in my life.
I felt awkward, so I called Christian.
I block a lot of that shit out too. Like it's blocked. Like there's a lot that's blocked looking into that moment, and it's just like.
That would have been what,
2018?
Yeah, it would have had to be 2018.
Yeah, because I wasn't 21 in the house.
Yeah, and then we moved into there April 2019.
I'm glad I was an alcoholic then and I wasn't 21, 22 living in that house because I wasn't even an alcoholic then, but I would have been, you know how bad I would have been? Even worse than that. But here we are, you know, looking back on those moments. I read something today and it was like, if you didn't know me 5+ years ago, you wouldn't have understood my growth today.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I get that. Like, I feel like some people... The thing that I try to not let get to me is I don't like people bringing up who I was, who the old me was. Even like a year ago. I don't like my past being thrown in my face because really, realistically, like if they're throwing that in my face, oh, you did this. Remember when you did that? Like, one, I don't want to be reminded of it because I've taken all this time to heal and let go of it. So why are you throwing it in my face? And two, if you really haven't seen how much I've grown individually now, then like you're not serving my life. But you're not really seeing everything that I've done to get to the point that I'm at now for throwing. But
also people who usually pull but remember when you did this, and 9 times out of 10, it's like the blame game to deflect. And it doesn't even have to do with the current disagreement.
No, you're right. It's just, but also I'm at the point where like, respectfully, I'll remove you from, I don't want to hear that. And 2, I'm not even going to give you the opportunity to bring it up again. I'm at, you know how I always said, and like, this is what gets thrown in my face now, like 2 years, whatever, East House, like all of that. I always was like, oh, I'm going to work on me and if someone wants to fucking leave, I'm going to open that door and like let them in. Then like, I never did. Like I never changed my pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I told myself that I was, but I never changed into a healthy pattern from my toxic pattern and the toxic traits. And I finally have. And so those things are like still thrown at me, but I'm really at the point now where like once I say I will open the door and let you go, like that's where I'm at, you know? And it's just like, that's another thing that goes into boundaries, not even with family and you know, aside from holidays, like setting healthy boundaries for the people that are in my life. And if they're there for the right reasons, they will respect those boundaries, and they'll also have boundaries for me because I'm not fucking perfect. And I can have a conversation when I'm wrong, but still, you know?
And even just like talking about like your cousin who's negative all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with people who are negative all the time for whatever reason, because they're not dealing with their shit or whatever it is, it's like it can creep in and they will affect you if you let them hang around too much. And it's like, I don't know, it's just not worth your time. And then the other thing is like the way I have come to be now is it's like, if someone's upset and having a hard time, like what, I mean, hey, that happens, whatever. But there is like a point with, and there are certain personality types that do this more, but like people who just play the pity party constantly and stuff. And it's just like,
yeah,
at some point it's like, okay, bro, well, you're going to have to, I'm thinking of my aunt, but you know, whatever. But like at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, you have to just choose to do something different or you're always going to be this way. And I can't
stuck in that negative mindset.
I can't let this affect parts of my life because you won't deal. I don't care. If someone's having a hard time, then that's fine. But like, especially when I know that like they're trying to get out of it. I mean, obviously like you have a breakup, you're going to be sad for a while. Stuff like that. But like, people who just can't.
And that's the thing. Like, even when people are going through hard times, it's not that I'm not validating that. That's not it. It's just, I feel like just explaining that clearly here. It's not that those people in my life who are going through hard times, I'm not in that situation where they are going through hard times and I'm trying to help them through it. And I'm trying to, there's two things. Do you want my advice or do you want me to listen? And still like it's constantly happening and it's to the point where they won't change. They won't direct in a different way. And then on top of that, I'm putting in energy to try to help them out. It's just like at that point, like, hey, I get that you're going through shit and that's valid, but like, I'm simply trying my best to help you through it. And my thing is the way that I look at it is like, we all are going through shit. We all are healing. We all have shit going on. Everyone deals, I've said this before, but everyone handles pain differently. I'm not going to belittle my pain because of like someone else who thinks I would never, ever tell someone that, hey, I need you to stop talking about your issues because I have something else going on that's much worse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I've had that thrown in my face. And I'm like, okay, one, I would never say that to fucking anyone. I don't care how bad I've had it. Like, I seriously would never, ever put that on someone because I simply don't know. I don't, as much as a person says they understand what you're going through, they really fucking don't. They can try and they can, you know, they can be there for you for the right reasons and they can try to help you through it. But your mind is your mind and people don't understand what goes on in that. And it helps though. It does help when people are like, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. But again, like, I'm not going to belittle my situation whenever I'm putting my shit to the side for a moment to have space for you to try to make your situation a little better. And it's all about having that space for someone. Yeah. But I've also had the space for all the wrong fucking people. And that's what I'm realizing. It's like, I can't believe that I am just now realizing it. But, you know, I'm happy that I am realizing it because I am a good person. And I love giving advice to people. I love seeing the inside.
You love to see the best in people. And that's really what it is.
And, you know, and some people have taken advantage of that. And some people don't really see that I'm just trying to simply help. And so it gets to the point where I'm like, I don't have space for this. Like, this doesn't serve me. And they're like, you're a bitch. Fuck you. You need to go to therapy. All this, like, and I'm like, that's not at all how I wanted this conversation to go.
Yeah.
And so open that door. And my circle has been like so small now. I want people in my life, if the best way to explain it, I want people in my life who, if there's a group setting and I'm not there and my name gets brought up, they will either say, hey, she's not here to defend herself or to speak on this. So like, can we not?
Mm-hmm.
Or back me up and be like, actually, you don't know this situation. You weren't there. Like, why are you speaking on this? Again, my name being brought up and I'm not there. And I've just, looking into it deeply, that's why very little of the people I have in my life now in that circle is because sadly, that big, like, oh, I have all these friends and everything. Nah,
mm-hmm.
It's sad, but I would rather be fucking alone than hang out with people. It's a TikTok. I'd rather be fucking alone than hang out with people that talk shit about me, you know? That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Oh my God, I had something and then I lost it. But I had something before that and I remember it. When going back to like people who are really negative and stuff like that, to reflect on my own experience, I created a saying that was literally based on me because you knew me when I was pretty emo. We would literally have a party at the house and Christian would find me upset in my room and she'd come try to pep talk me. But, you know, I hit, prior to even moving in the house, I hit a rock bottom. That was a little scary for me. And then that's when I was like, all right, I got nowhere down to go. So I'm just going to make crazy decisions to try to get out of this, which is how I ended up in the house. And, you know, it might have got a little messy, but I still think that was the direction I was supposed to go. And, but I've created this saying that also has to do with like, because when I left that house, it was kind of a sudden, I have to get out of here. I'm going to lose my mind. And, because, you know, good old fun stuff. And it was interesting because I remember I got out of the house. I am going somewhere with this. Once I moved out of the house, it was really funny. For those at home, this would have been in January 2020. And I moved into my grandmother's house temporarily, which drove me nuts. But I was like, gotta go somewhere. And then I just felt like not seeing people for almost 2 months. It was really stupid because then as soon as I felt like getting back out again, fucking COVID came. So that was a joke. But like, I found after I removed myself from that stuff, like, I don't know. I just got a lot happier and all this stuff, even though I was living at my grandmother's house. I was like, it's temporary, you know. But I created a saying based on different decisions. I'm not going to go all into the specifics of that story. But I created a saying that I have found myself saying to Morgan a lot. I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but where I'm just like, nothing changes until it changes, which is like literally the fact that if you are sad all the time and like, you know, whatever, like take the time you need to be sad. That's not what I'm saying. But at a certain point, you have to make the decision to actually work to get out of it. Whatever that looks like, whether it's therapy, whether it's moving where you live, whether it's in a relationship or just, you know, whatever it is, you know,
if you're
literally it stays the same. As long as you sit there feeling sorry for yourself, which I've done at times in life. And that's what this is based out of. Because I really did find that like once I decided to do something different, it actually, that's when it got better. Not by me sitting around writing my sad songs.
No. And that's the thing. If you constantly are dwelling on that, if you're constantly in that negative headspace, I've been there too. Like, I know how it is. I have used those things of, I don't deserve, what did I do to deserve? Like all those things, thinking. And realistically, I was waking up with that mindset every single day, not doing a damn thing to change it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I understand as well that I can be that helping hand, or even I can receive that helping hand. And realistically, you do have to dig yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and looking back into that situation, whenever you were removing yourself from the house, that's whenever I was at a point in my life and I was looking into you were doing something for your mental health to better you. I was looking at you in a way of like, I can't believe you're leaving. Like, I, of course, understood why you left, but still I was like, why the fuck is she like, and that I'm reflecting on.
I left you alone to deal with it.
I know, but I'm reflecting on that and seeing that. And that's how much I've changed because in a situation now where I need to remove myself and whatever, and other people need to remove themselves, it's just like, I understand why you, at the end of the day, you need to do what is best for you. But also, nothing is going to change, like you said, until you make that step. And you know, the thing is like people are scared to take that step because they're already in that mindset that everything around them, the world's against them, and everything's going to go wrong. That's how I have felt. And then, like, before you know it, you realize, holy shit, like. And this is even on my spiritual side and the universe and everything, is like, I wake up with a different mindset. I set intentions for myself. Me and Texas, we do our manifestations with each other on the phone, setting those intentions for the day, for the week, for our life. And then you look at it and you're like, doing these little small routines, these healthy patterns for yourself, and especially with your partner helps too. It opens up and you're like, wow, like these little small moments, like I understand why I had to go through those things. They're all obstacles. They're all tests that I think you have to learn from.
Yeah,
and from there, you look back at it and you look back at those times and you're like, damn, I did that. And I might have had that breaking point and being on my ass where you have that hole and rocks and gravel and everything's on you and you can't get out of it. But those small little moments, whenever you do that reflection and you reevaluate, in that moment, like, be proud of yourself. And especially if no one else is proud of you because they don't get it, they didn't go through that shit that you went through. Be proud of yourself because at the end of the day, that's, in my opinion, that's all you have. Regardless if you have a partner and everything, don't lose yourself in that and that goes on self-care, self-love. That's a whole nother fucking thing. But be proud of yourself looking at that. You lived through that. There's people in your life now that didn't even know you then.
Yeah.
And that's where it looks in the past and everything and doing that growth. And we've both come a long way, you know?
It's kind of wild to look back and then you go, oh, I had this much power the literal whole time. And you know, because one thing, which of course now when I say this, I understand mental illness and stuff, like happiness is not a choice per se, but in a certain kind of way, sometimes it can be. Like in the situation of like how it was for me, it was like me not necessarily choosing happiness, but like just literally the choice to try to do something about it. It was wild when I was like, oh, you actually can control more than you think. And it's like,
no, absolutely.
I don't know. But like, I wouldn't be as, you know, like now I'm just very much like, you know, even since those days, I mean, I still talk to most of the same people and stuff, but there are certain people I never, you know, started talking to much again after that, just because it was like, I was like, I don't need that. Like I could just let all of this go and be fine. And I've been fine since. It's been.
And that's the thing. I have let it all go. And even in the people in my past or people who haven't been serving me, although I remove myself from a situation, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be cold to you. If I see you out, I'm not going to act like you're a total fucking stranger. Hey, what's up? Same. How are you doing? But also I'm not going to put energy where it isn't matched in the effort.
It's a boundary. It's a
boundary. And that's exactly what it is. And looking into all of it, it's just like you take these steps and what you do in those moments, like you actually have to work to let the past go. And it's easier said than done. And like you said, like with mental health, with my own mental health and me talking about that and like choosing happiness and everything, I couldn't choose happiness. In a way, I couldn't choose happiness. So what I had to do is I had to use my resources of finding a therapist.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Finding
like, that's the choice right there.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Finding a psychiatrist. And then from there, having medication to help this chemical imbalance that's going on up here. And then in that, once I have that, that's my hope. That's the hope that I grasped on. And I was like, yes, I'm doing this. And I've done it by myself. And I'm going on a whole new fucking path. And then from there, moving forward, clocking into work and working at my desk. One simple, because I'm remote, working at my desk, but also organizing my calendar, making time for my team, all these other things, little routines, making my bed, making me a cup of coffee, going outside to drink the coffee on my balcony, not being in that dark. When I say dark shadow of where my mind sits, of not even being able to get out of bed, that's where I was. And no one could necessarily pull me out of there. So I understand when you give advice to people, it's like a sprinkle of salt. They will take it. It's not that I think I'm even wasting my breath whenever I'm giving people advice, because I know you have to dig yourself out of there. And it is hard. It feels impossible in those moments. But once you do it, damn, it's just like, right on, brother. Like you are there. You did that. And looking back, that's where all of this, that's why I try not to go down that slope, because it's a roller coaster and I have those moments as everyone else does. Mm-hmm. You have your good days and you have your hard days. And some days you just can't fucking complain. You're there and you're doing it. But because of this mindset and everything looking in of my life and where I'm at and thinking, I'm going in the right way, Mm-hmm. And there will be hard times. There will be hard moments. But I do know that I'm capable to get myself out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan multiple times is like, when stuff's going on or whatever, she's like, I don't know how she words it, but she'll just be like, make a comment about how calm I am or something, or about how like unbothered I get about things. And I'm like, I was not always like
yeah. And like, that's the thing. I still get bothered. I have that anxious feeling sometimes. But I don't get snappy and bark. I don't yell like I used to. I can actually sit down and have a conversation. Prior, I need to process. Now, in the heat of the moment of things, I can definitely get like, from feeling a certain way. But I can bite my tongue, take steps back and be like, let me revisit this. But it's all a work in progress for yourself. Mm-hmm. Those are small achievements.
Also learning not to work yourself up about things that you can't control. Yeah. Like, it is what it is.
Some things are completely out of your control. Yeah. Dude, you were in my mind because I was about to bring up, I was like, the East House, and we always said this, like, it is what it is. Simply, it is what it is. And you just said that. And it's
pretty much.
And it's like, you have to let it be. Mm-hmm. And I think one of my biggest problems is I was trying to think in the future too much. And I need to be more in the present of those moments and for myself.
Because the reality is if something happens that you can't control and it's not great, it's like, you can let that ruin your whole day, or you can just like brush it off.
Yeah, absolutely feel
Obviously,
it.
I'm not talking about like the death of a family member or something, but something like, I don't know.
I think like even working in customer care, I used to let calls get to me, escalated customers,
You worked as you were working as a lead now in customer service. I'm like, I don't think I could do that.
Well, I'm talking about whenever I was just like an agent and on the phone, like using that as an example really quick. Like,
I'm starting to learn that. Yeah. I'm starting to learn how that goes.
And that person doesn't know you. They aren't going to see you. Mm-hmm. More than likely, they aren't going to fucking talk to you again unless you have to follow up with them. But those are small things that I used to take personally, and it would ruin my whole day. Like, those are just little examples. Or like, I'd be stuck at a red light too long, or I'd be running late. I needed to get gas, but I didn't have time. Like, my fucking button fell off my pants. Like, little things like that you're like, those are the little moments that literally used to get to me, and I would be so frustrated.
Yep.
And now I just brush it off. I'm like, oh, okay, the button fell off my pants because I probably shouldn't wear these pants anymore. I'm late. I'm running late to work. Maybe I'm missing out on an accident that's taken place. Or I could have been, if I was a split second ahead, I could have been in a wreck. So you can take those negative things that are happening in front of you, but you can change your mindset on them completely of how you're looking. And it's hard to do, but once you get the hang of it and you get that healthy pattern, again, be proud of yourself because you're the one who fucking did it. No one else. You might have had help, but you still did it for yourself.
Yeah. I think that's a good note to end on.
Me too.
Yep. This went well. We weren't really sure what we were going to talk about today. We just wung it when she got here. So,
well, this Saturday feeling the nice weather and everything, the fall vibe.
We're about to go to 5 Below.
Yeah, it got me in the mood. You know, like usually at night whenever we come in, like it's not that we always talk about depressing shit, but like I'm vibing today. It's a good day.
No, it is a good day. But so we will see y'all next week. Between now and then, try to make those choices. Improve your life. Get out. See outside. Do something. I don't know. Don't sit in your house like 24/7.
No, it's a great day to have a great day. Just tell yourself that when you wake up.
Yep. And we're going to watch Happiest season later. Well, I don't know if Christian's going to come back for it, but we'll go, watch a good movie. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Everyone have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Thanks, guys, for listening.
You can follow us over at No Subject Apparel on all social media.
You can discover us on YouTube.
And please like, subscribe, follow, and review us on whatever platform you're currently listening on.
New episodes will be dropped every Tuesday.
And you can sign up for our mailing list in the description of this episode to get a personal message from us and reminders for new episodes every week.